Look at me, I've changed the white balance, so I'm not blue. It's human skin colour. Have I got a white backdrop? No. You know what? It's grey. Does it look white? Yeah. Beauty of film. This book is called Brave New World. It's by Aldous Huxley. It was published in 1931. That was a guess. I'm going to check if that's a correct guess, because I should have proper information about these. Oh, 1932, I said 31, I was so close. If you want to know, I also have its ISBN, and it is 64,521 words. So that's additional information you now have about this book. This is influential in science fiction and literature in general, because it's a good book. Another, like I've talked about this earlier, the Brave New World is about a future which is very different to how we approach life now, and terrifying to us, but you can understand that if you were put in that situation, you would probably react the same way as those people do. So in this world, people are not born. People don't have families. They're cultured in bottles, and they're made. Everybody has certain treatments throughout their childhood and even before they're born to force them into a class in society. So you get like Alpha Plus, which are the brain scientists and all of the people, the high up people that need it, and then you go all the way down to like Epsilon and Gamma, and they're the people that open doors for you. So very problematic from the start, because we live in a world where, although it's impossible to give people equal opportunity from the get-go, because we all have different socioeconomic situations, we we're striving for a more equal life, no matter race, age, background, etc., orientation, whatever other things you want to throw in there. And this kind of does the opposite. It gives them a reason for being low class, instead of them starting low class because their parents started low class. They're starting low class because society needs those people to function efficiently. But it's also all old world texts don't exist, so people don't really know what happened, like what society was back when we were around. This is a few hundred years in the future, and they're afraid. It's scary and something that you don't talk about, because it's a very weird concept for people to have, like a family, to have somebody that raised you and has that much like control over who you are. So they don't exist anymore, and they just fit into this very sensible, functional world, which abstractly sounds very nice, but in reality the lack of control that these individuals have over everything is terrifying. They worship Ford. Is this like a subtle or not so subtle jab at the motoring millionaires? That makes me sound like a dumbass. I read Middlesex, I understand. Oh no, I've really done it. Do I have to start this all again? Ford, big in, I want to say Detroit, in the beginning of the 20th century. Yes, Brave New World. They take these pills called Soma, which is a drug, an entirely socially acceptable drug, which kind of puts you in a dream state, and altered reality, so you don't have to deal with real life, because that's what they want it to be like, and everyone expected that they do this. And they're also completely polygamous and are meant to be, and it's frowned upon if you're not. It's weird if you go to bed with the same person for more than a month, and then you can't, and you wouldn't, in this world you wouldn't really want to, apart from our main protagonist, whose name is Bernard Marx, and he just he likes this chick, you know, and he kind of is thinking, he's kind of got this like overshadowing thought in his head that there might be something more, but he doesn't know what it is, and he doesn't really know what to do to try and understand it. But what he decides to do is go to a colony. What's it called? I don't know enough about this to talk about it. It's like a refuge, an area of America where people have been left to not join the system, and it's kind of fenced out, but then you can go visit for like journalistic purposes, I suppose, and because our main character Bernard Marx is high up enough in the system, he has visitation rights. Although people don't want to do this, he wants to, so he can if he wants to, and he decides to take this girl that he loves with him. Also, randomly, I've started unconnected thought. I've started with books I've been reading this year. I've started dog-earing the corners where they mention the book's title. This is the end. Can you see this? Probably not. Just the last bit. And that is because the protagonist changes. I have never seen that in a book before, and I absolutely love it. And it's that you get introduced to a man in the beginning, and you know that he's different to the people in the rest of the book. You know that he's going to challenge it, and he's going to do something about it, and he's going to become enlightened. And you think he's going to carry it through to the end. But, this is kind of spoilery. Get over it. It was 1932. You should have read it by now. Bernard Marx isn't really up for it. He's not as against the system as because he's part of it. The boy that is we're just gonna get very spoilery here. Turn it off if you don't want to. I feel like I've explained this enough now. In this refuge, it's kind of very, very well what we would describe as vulgar, I suppose. It's not technologically advanced at all. People live in like mud huts and but on the other hand, it's completely civilized because they're monogamous and they deal with respect and family, and they have much more reasoned systems. They're much more open about why they live the way they live. But there's a woman there that was a visitor from the New World, and kind of was pregnant and got lost and didn't realise she was pregnant, because pregnancy not allowed. They get abortions because they don't have kids. Anyway, this woman was pregnant and couldn't find her way out, so she's New World and very New World, and is like, where's my Soma? Where's the next man I can sleep with? And has to have this baby in the wild. So this boy grows up as an outsider to all of these indigenous people, because they don't understand, because they don't. His mother is very against that. She's very New World, although she doesn't live in it because she's been forced to live in this new place. But she cannot even slightly sympathise with the locals. So she's like taking their people's husbands to bed and being like, what's wrong with that? And they're like, no, that's not how it works here. So he's ostracized to an extent, and doesn't have, and someone, he acquires the entire works of Shakespeare as a bound volume because that works with the plot. So he gets to read and write, and this savage understands the world from both angles more thoroughly than most people, and he is reintroduced to society. He's brought back to England, where the most of the story is based, and kind of shown around to all of these these people in the New World as a novelty. You know, oh, he has a mum, but you know, he's one of us, and he becomes the person that you root for, because he's the person that he's the only person that can possibly understand how much New Society had lost by giving up, you know, hereditary. And it's very thought-provoking and very emotional, and you can kind of get stuck in the kind of like, there's a guy called Bernard and he doesn't want to sleep with lots of people area, but it's very thought-provoking, and so this one's sticking with me. This has been over 10 minutes long, I'm sorry. I have a lot of emotions about this book. It's going to be something that I read probably more in the future. Terrific. Give it a try if you haven't.